Can you share your letter to the editor with me, please? We can take a look at your letter. Sure. Can we see your letter? Doesn't we can finish your letter together? Can you share the link so that I can edit your letter too? Good morning. Who am I speaking to? Good morning. Who is this? Great. Benson? Benson, do you have your letter to the editor on Google Docs? I'm going to take a look at Moon's, and then I could take a look at yours. Your letter doesn't have to be finished. And who am I speaking to here? Who? Who is this, please? Okay. Benson, can you please share your Google Doc with me? Hi, Carmen. Can you please share your Google Doc with me? Carmen, can you please share your letter to the editor with me? Okay, I will show you how to share. Here we go. I'm going to share my screen. So you should write your Google Doc or your letter to the editor on Google Docs. And this is opening now. Yesterday, I believe Moon and I prepared this letter to the editor. So before we get to the letter, let's review. Last week in our lesson, we went through the task. You can go to the Oxford Advantage book, go to Unit 4, and you'll see the task. And the task is on which page? Page 88. So pages 88 and 89 of your textbook lay out the task. And last week, we developed arguments and supporting information to either agree or disagree with the task prompt. So I'll say it again. The task is, do you agree or disagree? Hong Kong students are very focused on their studies and are unlikely to gain work experience or volunteer during the summer. And we need to write a letter to the editor that either agrees or disagrees. So we created arguments to agree with supporting information and arguments to disagree. Then yesterday, Moon and I started to write a letter to the editor. And you can follow the format on page 89. Similarly, you can also look at page 84 and 85. So I'll write that down. Pages 84 and 85, 88 and 89. Okay. So textbook, pages 88 to 89, 84 to 85. So when we look at some of the features of a letter to the editor, we see one, start with Dear Editor. Oh, I'm sorry. Before we even get to that, this is how you share your Google Doc with me. So you have a Google Doc, you click Share, and then there should be a link. Now you can also provide a link so that people can edit. And you want to copy that, and then you want to send it to me privately in the chat. I'll say it again. So, hello, that's not that. Go to your Google Doc, click on Share button. Someone with a link can edit, copy the link, then send me the link privately through the chat. So I'll send you the link to this Google Doc here. Okay, great. So I'm going to go to Moon's Google Doc shortly. Thank you, Moon. Let's put that there. So how about I review my letter to the editor, and then we'll review Moon's letter to the editor, and then Benson, if you're available, will review yours. So we need to look at some of the features of a letter to the editor in 1. We need to say, dear editor. Okay, great. 2, we should have some kind of title or subject line that summarizes our letter to the editor. 3, we should have a letter or an introductory paragraph that should include why we're writing, and that may include the name of the that is the article to which we're responding. And then it includes our point of view. Do we agree or disagree? Then we paragraphs should have arguments or, and you can have one argument that is one body paragraph. You can have 2 body paragraphs. I know the textbook presents 3 body paragraphs. You need to ultimately write up to about 300 words. And if you can do that with just one argument, just write one argument in one paragraph. If you need 2 arguments with 2 paragraphs, do that. If you need 3 arguments with 3 paragraphs, do that. So, for example, I can write 2 arguments with each paragraph, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences in one argument, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sentences in the other argument. So again, think about the word count when you also think about the number of arguments or main body paragraphs to write. You don't have to write 3. Even though the textbook presents 3, 1, 2, 3, you don't have to write 3. Okay, so each body paragraph should have a topic sentence and then supporting details. So I have 2 body paragraphs, 2 topic sentences. Then I support each argument with some facts and conclusions. Then I summarize my arguments in the first sentence of the last paragraph, and then make a recommendation. I end with yours faithfully, who I am, where I'm from. I also highlight some of the language in red that we can use to structure our writing. Any questions? Okay, now we're going to go to Moon's letter to the editor. Let's look for some of the features. I'm going to go up. Can I comment? No. So, Moon, are you there? Okay. Moon, I am going to comment. You might want to correct your letter to the editor while I am talking. Pensy, do you have your letter to the editor on Google Docs? We can look at your letter after we look at Moon's. You do not need a finished letter. We can finish your letter together. Okay, let's try this. Let's see if this works. Oh, great. Okay, so now I can edit. Super. Thank you so much. Super duper. Whoop, hello, where are we? Okay, now we're going to edit. I'm going to make this a bit bigger. So, dear editor, great. All of you should write dear editor. Now, what you'll need to write, Moon, is a subject line. So, subject line. Summarize your letter in a few words. You'll need that, and you should do that last. So again, if you take a look at the model, you see a subject line here. All summer jobs provide valuable work experience. And then if you look at the other model letter, we see students do gain useful experience during the summer. So do that after you write the rest of your letter. Okay. Okay. So we see that Moon has copied my sentence, and that's fine. We see that Moon is responding to the article, and since the article name isn't given in the prompt, that is, there's no name of article here, but you see there's a name of an article here in the model letter, you'll have to make up the article name. I'll say it again. So it's good to refer to the article that you're responding to. And you see this writer makes up the name of an article and the name of an author. Okay. And you may want to do that too if the name of the article and the author isn't given. And you see on page 84 that this person also wrote the name of the article and the author. Also, when the article was published. Okay, so again, you may want to do the same thing. Right. So we have, I am responding to the article. Okay, and then we have the summary of what the article is about. And then we have our opinion. I'm going to label these things clearly. So there are three things. Let me make this actually very clear. One, we have the title of the article. Two, summary of the article. Summary of the previous of the article. Three, opinion. Opinion on the article. Okay. So we have those three. Moon has copied my introduction. That's fine. If you can write your own introduction, that's even better. Now we have topic sentence one. Students don't know how to find job opportunities or volunteer opportunities. Two, another topic sentence. Now, these are my topic sentences, the ones that I wrote here. If you can write your own topic sentences, that's even better. Again, we thought of different arguments that you can make into topic sentences, whether you agree or disagree. Now let's take a look at the supporting information. Many students may not be taught in school how to find jobs and volunteer opportunities. Okay, yes, that's a supporting detail. Also, students, friends, classmates, and families may also not know many resources for job and opportunity. Okay, yes, all right. So students don't know how to find job opportunities, volunteer opportunities. Okay, so you're taking what I wrote, you're copying what I wrote, and you're modifying it a bit. Great, I appreciate that, Mo. So we see you've changed some of the words, like you use so, that's great. Also, so you're providing some facts. 1, students may not be taught. 2, students, friends, classmates, and families may also. Okay, do you see this, Moon? You used the word also twice. You don't need to do that. Just use it once. Okay. So, students don't know how to find job opportunities. Okay. Now, you don't want to use this word. Therefore and hence have the same meaning, but I don't think you want this meaning here. You might want some kind of additional point. Therefore and hence are words that mean as a result or a consequence. I don't think, Moon, that this is a result of this. So you shouldn't use therefore. Therefore means since this, or because of this. This is an additional point. So you may want to use in addition, and then you present some more facts. So in addition, students don't know how to find job opportunities or volunteer opportunities because there's no one place to find all job opportunities. Hence, students cannot effectively find job opportunities or volunteer opportunities. That makes more sense. All right, do you kind of get what I mean, Moon? 1, we shouldn't use this word because that word links this sentence with this sentence, but I don't think you want to do that. You want to link this sentence with this argument. So you need to use a linker like in addition or furthermore. And then you need to restate your argument. In addition, students don't know how to find job opportunities or volunteer opportunities because, okay, that linker works. There's no one-stop shop. Therefore, students can't find them. So you need to change this. Use another linking word, restate your argument, and then give this reason. Okay. Now let's take a look at the second argument. Even if students knew how to find summer job and volunteer opportunities, they would rather study than work or volunteer during the summer. Okay. I wrote Let's see. Oh no, actually, it isn't. It's not. I'm sorry. You do use the, the phrase that I used to refer to the argument. So now let's take a look at students who rather study than work. So many students supporting information, some facts. Many students prepare the exam. How many exams, Moon? Okay, I'm going to, okay, fix this. Talk now. But many students have to prepare for the exam. No, I think they're, so I'm going to highlight this, such as the HKDSC. So it's more than one exam, but there's only one and only one HKDSC. So you need to correct that. Okay. Now, I don't think, Moon, you need to do this right now. You don't need to use this sentence to draw the conclusion yet. Provide more facts. You don't need to draw this conclusion or make this conclusion right now. Make this conclusion at this point in the paragraph. State more facts and supporting information. Hi, Sam. Yeah, welcome, Sam. So, Moon, this sentence supports this argument, but it's not necessarily related to this sentence. So this sentence, students may think work or volunteer during the summer is a waste of time. Okay, this is not necessarily this. So you should use another linking word like also. I'm going to write this down. Since this sentence is related to the main argument in the paragraph, but not to the previous sentence in the paragraph, you may want to use a linking word like also, or in addition, or additionally. Okay. Okay. All right. Sam, I'm sorry. I'm working from home right now, and my internet connection isn't very clear. Nonetheless, you can view. You can view this on the screen. So Moon, make sure you add a linking word. And here, you have a linking word here. That's great, also. Also, many parents regulate their children's learning. Now, you need to write another sentence, and do not allow students to work. So you need to, Moon, write another sentence. So also, many parents regulate their children's learning and do not allow children to work. Moon, I don't think this students during the summer holidays may be lazy and tired is a good piece of information to include in this paragraph. See, your argument, Moon, is students would rather study. I don't know how students are lazy and tired supports this idea students would rather study. If students are lazy and tired, I don't know, it doesn't make sense that students would study. They're lazy and tired. They don't want to study. They don't want to work. Does that make sense? I don't understand how this, students are lazy and tired, supports your argument. I do think it's okay for you to end with so and restate your point. So students would rather study than work or volunteer during the summer. Okay. So I'll say it one more time. Let's look at the paragraph. Even if students knew how to find summer jobs, more than one, Moon, and volunteer opportunities, they would rather study than work or volunteer during the summer. Many students have to prepare for the exams, such as the DSE. Students, in addition, students may think work or volunteer. Now this has to be something else. Moon. Volunteer is not the word you want. You want volunteer opportunities, Moon. Okay, so just use the same word or same phrase, volunteer opportunities. All right, volunteer is the person. So that's confusing. Students may think volunteer, which is a person, a 义工. That makes no sense. Okay, so just use the phrase volunteer opportunities. I need to insert comment. Volunteer is a person. Volunteer is a person. Volunteer is also a verb. I don't think you want to use volunteer here. Okay. Finally, in summary, many students don't know how to find job opportunities or volunteer opportunities. Okay, so Moon, you're summarizing this, your first argument. Then you summarized your first argument. Can you summarize your second argument and then make a recommendation? Okay, and then have a closing, your name, your location. Any questions? Okay. Now let's help Moon. Based on what Moon said, what can we recommend to the readers of the letter? So, in the final paragraph, the last paragraph of a letter to the editor, we should summarize our arguments and recommend something. So in this letter, the model letter, we see students should, modal verb, try a variety of jobs. Okay. So they make a recommendation, should, advice. If we take a look at the second model letter to the editor and the final paragraph, you see, therefore, everyone should. So they make a recommendation using the word should. Yes, Sam. Yes. So make a recommendation. If we take a look at my letter at the very end, I use must. So Dr. Wu uses another modal verb, which is a lot stronger than should. So I'll write that down. When making a recommendation, use the verb, modal verb, should, or use must to be stronger in making the recommendation. Use so that to link the recommendation to a consequence. Okay. Let's see. So you actually see on page 84 this structure. In making the recommendation, we see the modal verb should, and then we see so that. So they link the recommendation with a consequence. So let's go back to Moon's letter. So boys and girls, based on what Moon has written, what can we recommend to the reader? Based on what Moon has written in her letter, what can we recommend to the reader in the last paragraph of Moon's letter? So Moon made two arguments. Students don't know how to find job opportunities or volunteer opportunities, and students would rather study than work. So what can we recommend to the reader? Benson, any thoughts? Nancy, any thoughts? Check that out. Sam, any thoughts? What can we recommend at the end of Moon's letter? Moon, any thoughts? What can we recommend? Okay. So ultimately, it's good to make a recommendation. Now, let's do one final thing. What kind of subject line should we put here? How can we summarize Moon's letter in a few words? In a letter to the editor, you should have a subject line. Summarize the subject of a letter in a few words. So you see it here in this model on page 84. On page 89, we also see it. In my letter, we see it as well. So now we need another one for Moon's letter. Teachers teach students to find job opportunities or volunteer opportunities. Okay. So Moon, I think you're writing about the recommendation. Okay, that's great. That's super. Great idea. You can write that yourself in your paragraph. Oh, that's not it. Okay. So that's a great suggestion, Moon. I can't write this, so you'll have to write this, Moon. But in your final paragraph, you should write, teachers should teach students to find job opportunities or volunteer opportunities. Okay? That's a great idea. Teachers should teach students so I'll just add that here. Teachers should teach students to find job opportunities or volunteer opportunities. And maybe you want to add one more paragraph or one more sentence to add some more detail for this. What do you mean? Okay. So consider writing one more sentence to add more information to your recommendation. Nice, Moon. Okay. Now, what about the subject line? Any thoughts? Can you summarize your letter, Moon, in a few words? Okay. So, Benson, Carmen, Pensy, Sam, any suggestions? How can we summarize Moon's letter in a few words? Oh, hey, Pensy, great suggestion. Oh my gosh. Teachers could give lectures to students on how to find jobs or volunteer in school. Great. So Pensy provided more detail to the recommendation. That's super. That's great. So teachers should teach students to find job opportunities or volunteer opportunities. Teachers could give lectures in school to students on how to find jobs or volunteer. So that's super. Nice job. Now let's go back to the subject line. And does anyone have a few words to summarize Moon's letter? While you're thinking, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to share this link, a shareable link. I'm going to put it on our classroom so you can see. See if I can't edit this. Edit. Okay. So you can see link. So people can also see this link. Students can view the file. And I'll save that. So now we have, that's okay. We'll just, so now in your assignments, you have some videos from Ms. Chow on writing a letter to the editor. You have Dr. Wu's sample writing and Moon's sample writing. You have our lesson on composing a letter to the editor, and then I'll put up today's lesson as well. Now tomorrow, if you're interested, we can go over another student's letter to the editor. Otherwise, we can do something else. Does anyone have an opinion? Would you like to go over someone else's letter to the editor tomorrow? We can go over Benson's or Carmen's or Pensy's. Benson, Do you want to go over your letter? Carmen, do you want to go over your letter tomorrow? Pensy, do you want to go over your letter tomorrow?
I don't have right.
Okay, maybe you want to write one and start writing one today.
I don't know.
Okay, well, we can try to write a letter to the editor tomorrow with you. We can try from scratch. If you're not going to write it by yourself, then we're going to write it together. Tomorrow, we can try writing a letter for Pensy. And all of us can do something to help Pensy. Okay. So we can meet. Do you want to meet tomorrow at 9 a.m. or do you want to meet at like in the afternoon, maybe 1:30? 9 o'clock or 13:30 tomorrow? Okay, so let's meet at 13:30 tomorrow to either write a letter for Pensy or to review someone else's letter. I'm going to stop the recording now and I'll also make the announcement stuff.